Well, we've reached the beginning of our story and the end of our process. This week, we're going to look at the very first verses that introduce the story. One thing that I think is important, and this is the case in many passages, pay attention to it, and I think you'll observe it. When there's a new story that is being told, the opening verse often is not so much things that you act out or even suggest with your bodily movement. More so, they are the opportunity for the storyteller to make eye contact and connection with her audience. There are some words that I try to weight a little bit with tone, but overall what I'm trying to do is connect to the audience. So in the passage, I think that it's a festival day is important, and I think that it's in Jerusalem on the festival day is important. It's like saying on Thanksgiving Day, I went to the Macy's parade, right? You're in the right place, the best place to be celebrating the festival. You're in Jerusalem. And so all that time and the description, I kind of am not sure that everybody in my audience is even going to know what a portico is. So rather than trying to communicate the notion that there's 5 of them, I simply want it to be clear that it's like a balcony with space underneath it. And so I do that with a gesture. And so you'll note that this little passage, it's pretty short for your last week, your new learning, is a good time to connect with your hearers. I also, by this time in my process, am thinking, what is the main thing that I want to communicate? And I decided with this one, I want to communicate joy, and that for me, the message is, in this story, God's intention for the Sabbath is achieved in an extraordinary way. After this, there was a festival of the Jews. Jesus went up to Jerusalem. Now in Jerusalem, by the sheep gate, there is a pool. In Hebrew, Bethzatha, which had 5 porticos. In these lay many who were sick, blind, lame, paralyzed. One man was there who had been sick for 38 years. When Jesus saw him lying there and knew that he'd been there a long time, he said to him, "You want to be made well?" The man who was sick answered him, "Sir, I have no one to put me in the pool when the water is stirred. And while I'm making my way, someone steps in ahead of me." Jesus said to him, "Rise, take up your mat and walk." And at once the man was made well. And he took up his mat and he began to walk. Now that day was a Sabbath.